Today, we'll be going over what players new to the game should expect, what they should know, and what they should be doing in order to find success as an adventurer exploring history and Time's End. Before anything else though, adventurers should familiarize themselves with the game's mechanics, controls, and communication methods. For players already comfortable with the game, but are still uncertain about what they should be doing, here are a few recommendations to help you further strengthen your position as an adventurer of Evermore Academy and strengthen your character as well. The first tip: prioritize experience. When you die in big time, you drop a portion of your gold, and this portion increases in proportion to the total amount of gold you're holding. The longer you go building up your character's wealth, the more money you will lose when you die while exploring adventure instances. In contrast, you will never lose experience, even in the event you are defeated, and your stats will increase the more you build up. Because of this, it is advisable that you spend your gold frequently if you do not think you'll be able to finish an adventure instance without being defeated. The second hint to being a successful adventurer and time traveler: know the area. The areas within Time's End are not made equal, and some offer adventure instances that can be very difficult for new players to navigate. It's important that players know which areas are most suited to their level. Knowing which areas are safe, which are difficult, and which ones are outright impossible for players at any given level is imperative for adventurers who wish to keep their gold, so always remember where you ought to be focusing your attention. Our third pointer: choose a class for your first time. Enemies are a common obstacle to overcome in adventure instances, and will oftentimes be found in groups that far outnumber players. Because of this, it is recommended that first-time players select classes that can survive the onslaught of attacks and offer wiggle room for mistakes and missteps. Classes like the Time Warrior, with their superb defense, and the Quantum Fixer with their healing abilities are ideal for this purpose, and will always be welcome in adventuring parties. Players who do not enjoy their chosen playstyles do not need to worry, as they will still be able to play the other classes by finding corresponding pocket watches. If finding the desired class's pocket watch is too difficult, beginner-grade versions of all pocket watches are also available from the class trainers. The fourth suggestion: explore. Equipment isn't only available through monster drops or shop purchases. Roam around higher-level areas. You might find loot containers that contain valuable gear. This is a relatively less dangerous method of finding better armor and weapons than entering adventure instances. While uncommon, this is still useful information to have and utilize if ever you find yourself in need of more items but don't want to go to the trouble of going into adventure instances. Next, here's our fifth bit of advice: potions. Saving your gold is a risky move, but at the same time, you might not find any equipment better than your current gear, or you might not have the stats to equip them. A good way to spend your gold to keep yourself alive until then is to buy consumables such as potions or trees of life. Potions come in many varieties, and some can provide quick restoration for their associated resource. This is a valuable alternative to resting, since unlike resting, using potions allows you to keep moving and stay in the fight. On the other hand, trees of life are similar to potions because they not only restore both health and mana, but do so for every player nearby. If even one player has a Tree of Life, the party can quickly get back to full power. Finally, our last guideline for every adventurer in Time's End: work together. Trying to be a solo adventurer can be very harsh and unforgiving, especially when confronted with difficult situations and obstacles. In these situations, it's best if you team up with other players who can fill in for you. For example, Shadowblades might not have a lot of health, but Time Warriors are perfect for soaking up damage. Similarly, if a Time Warrior struggles with bringing down a tough enemy, then it's time for the Shadowblade to step in and even the playing field. Teamwork is the first and best tool you should turn to when you're faced with a tough problem in Time's End. Because of that, you should always strive to play well with other adventurers and make it so people want to party up with you. These are just some of the hints, tips, and tricks for players new to Big Time to keep in mind during their first forays into the game. Many more are waiting for you to discover and employ as you play and experience the world. So what are you waiting for? Head out there now to explore and grow. We'll see you, adventurers, in Time's End.